Your Christmas goat's out again.
That's what she said.
He's miming.
I didn't squeeze him. He's pantomiming.
How's it going?
Okay.
Okay.
You?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Just
that's good.
2 days
How's the fam?
away from a state championship game.
Ooh, that's football, right? Is that a football thing?
Yeah. Friday, 1:00, Camp Randall Stadium, historic Camp Randall Stadium. The West De Pere Phantoms and the Notre Dame Tritons, an all Green Bay state championship game.
And so that means a team from Wisconsin's actually going to win on that field this year.
That is true. Green Bay actually has 3 teams represented in the final day of state championships. We have a team, Bayport, in the Division I playoff. Of course, our matchup in Division II. And then there's some close proximity teams in like Division 5, I think, too.
Wowzers.
Yeah, a little closer to the valley. Football is alive and well in the area.
I guess.
Yeah.
So are you looking to go back to coaching next year, or do you miss it, or?
It's tough not being in the thick of things, but no, I think this will be it for me.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. You can't do all the things
going on in life, right?
Yeah, I kind of make a deal with myself. Like if I add something, something's got to go away. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you like the other things that you have, well, that's kind of the end of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yo YouTube, welcome to the live Dollar Box and Charlie JC3 show. I want to talk about Black Friday next. I know it's a whole week away, but I kind of want to talk about some prep and maybe look in and see if there's some sales that are going to be out there. I think it's smarter to do that instead of the night before. So we're going to take a look at that this week and, kind of what that means for sales if you haven't been through one before. And kind of how that kicks off, right? The Christmas selling season for the most part. So, but before I get that far, I want to talk about what Black Friday used to be.
Is it the old man speech we're going to get here?
Well, yes, no. I loved Black Friday shopping back when it was like a real thing. Like you actually went to the store. I always referred to it as competitive shopping.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this maybe even a little bit last week, but
a little bit, yeah.
I kind of feel like they're trying to get some of that to return. I don't know how solid that's going to be, but so there's obviously advantages to a retail establishment selling online versus selling in the store. The big cost of them doing it that way is you don't get the additional sales a lot of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
People just go online, buy the thing they're looking for, and that's the end of it. They don't buy the candy bars at the checkout, right?
Right.
So stores are trying to figure out a way, well, how do I get them to buy the one specific thing from my online marketplace and then entice them to come into my store to buy a certain item plus the candy bar at the checkout.
Right.
That's the new, that's kind of the new problem solving equation that has to be figured out by these retail businesses. So I don't think that really has much to do with cards. It feels like there's some nostalgia kick for that old Black Friday experience to some degree. And I think it just gets people more in the mood and you're going to see Whereas like, so the online shopping was really Black Monday, right? So you would go to your
Yeah,
stores on Friday,
Cyber
you would buy
Monday.
all your Cyber Monday or okay.
Mhm.
You'd go to the stores on Friday, buy your stuff that, you could get deals on there, and then Cyber Monday was sort of the cleanup, right? You'd go online and buy all the other things that you needed. So I think that's going to be kind of what the retailers' goals are to get back to. Get you to come in on Thursday, have the loss leaders, get you to buy the extra stuff, and then Monday hit you on. Sorry, got this tickly thing. Um, try to follow that up with a getting you to make a purchase online. Besides, so I don't know. We'll see what they do with cards. I tried to look up some. I don't know if you've done this yet. I tried to look up to see if there were any specific sales for
Yeah.
Black Friday. I didn't really see anything.
Yeah, it's a little early yet. I found
Um,
a handful of them that are advertising already. But some Walmart stuff, some Dave and Adams, but
I was just going
nothing,
to
nothing
mention Dave and
huge yet.
Adams. Yeah, David. I mean, you can count on the large wax dealers doing stuff. I mean, I'm sure Blowout will have something. Dave and Adams will have something. I actually did really well last year going to our LCS
Yeah.
and picked up a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of those like Star Wars, Clone Wars blasters for like $7 or $4 a box. I think it was $4 a box.
Okay.
Uh, he had 6 or 8 of them. I bought them all, and we've gotten some decent sales out of there. I got some numbered cards, some inserts, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But a blaster for $4, that's pretty unheard of. So
Yeah.
hoping to find some of those. I'll be there as soon as they open on this upcoming Black Friday. So hopefully I'll find some good deals there for that. But
Oh, that's right. You're one of the lucky ones. You have like banker hours and holidays.
yeah, I mean, so Friday, my goal is we want to take Luna to some competitive shopping. She's never experienced it. So we're kind of hoping we can find something to do with that just to kind of show her what that was like. She likes to shop, obviously. So we'll do that. And then obviously I'm going to have a lot of orders to do. And then I'm going to have a couple of Whatnot live shows. We'll get into that a little bit further down in the show here tonight. And then, so I'll probably do one in the morning and one at night essentially for that. And then in between that, I'm going to hit my LCS and see if I can pick up some deals on some boxes that way.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll be working
Other than-
the normal 6:30 to 3:30, 4:30, something like that. I think I'm covering for a bunch of my peers. They're covering for me so I can go to the game on Friday, so I had to repay the favor. I do have a list of some of the advertised sales so far if you want to run through some of them and get some opinions on them. So how about 2025 Slab Kings Plus Baseball Edition at Walmart for $30.99?
Okay.
So it's kind of cheap, but it's kind of a gamble box. You never know what you're gonna. It's a mystery, right?
It's a repack.
Yeah. 2025 Panini Revolution Football Premium Box, roughly $130 at Walmart.
I did see that one. That's not a Black Friday deal, though, is it?
Well, it's not exclusive to Black Friday. I think these are things they're starting to advertise now for the next week. I didn't really see anything that was just doorbusters, right?
Right.
So Revolution's a pretty nice modern set. I know we both like it. You get a little mix of memorabilia in there, some high-end design. Still kind of riskier, but there's some potential upside in there. 2025 Panini Mosaic Football Mega from Black Tie Breaks for $100. So looking for some of those rookies and parallels. That might be a good chance to get those. Of course, the 2025 Topps Holiday Tins $24.99 at Black Tie Breaks. That's I feel like that's
kind of normal price, isn't it?
yeah, kind of what we're seeing around here right now.
Mhm.
But fun to rip. Absolute Mega Football, again, Black Tie Breaks, about 130. Panini Hobby 18 box mixer breaks at Dave and Adam's Card World. So they're
Okay.
pumping the breaks quite a bit as well. Also, Hit Parade Multisport Team Break, 50 box, 124 spot live break. The other one is 18 box mixer with 32 spot. But those can be kind of pricey. They don't have the actual prices on here, but I think you pay, again, risky. You don't know what you're going to get. But maybe the best thing I saw, if you're into kind of the lesser tier manufacturers, was Walmart's got a 2025 Leaf Metal Sports Heroes hobby box for $206.
Okay.
Now, I think that's only like 3 cards, though, if I remember.
Mhm.
But they're more high end. There's some autos of like Dan Marino can be in there and stuff like that.
Sure.
I don't know what they go for regularly, but that's one of the things they're hyping.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. I mean, it's early, but it's not early. I mean, it's a week away.
Yeah.
But even like let's talk non-card stuff. The Target and Walmart flyers, those were always the hot things to look at once those flyers would actually come out. And
Yep.
I didn't really see much on there for
No, not yet.
doorbuster deals kind of things.
Not
So I don't know. We'll see.
I think next week's show we should have a little more robust list in that area.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I would caution you about is for some of these card deals, make sure you're going to reputable sellers. Inventory can be a problem too. If they are really good deals, they can sell out before you get your cards. Some of these repacks are always kind of questionable, so just be careful where you get those. There's always risk involved with some of that. But some of those products like Revolution, Leaf Metal Heroes, I mean, I think those could be decent flips if you get your hands on some of those.
Yeah. Hoping to find some deals on some Score a Treat packs too.
Boy, I would think so because they want to get rid of those now.
Yeah. So I've seen some sale prices on those at some places, but nothing where it's like, here, take them. We don't want them.
Yeah.
And I like that product. I sell a lot of cards out of that. So
yeah.
And they're thin. You can ship a ton of them together for hardly any money, and they're easy to keep in good condition. And you got plenty of rookies, and I don't know, it's a pretty good product from that aspect. Yeah, but as far as my focus, especially if I'm going to buy like wax and stuff, I like the weirder products. I'd rather buy the holiday stuff and the Halloween stuff and oddball type stuff. I think it's just easier to sell.
Those Score Treats, do you find you move those mostly as throw-ins with your multi-card orders, or do you sell a lot of singles too?
It's mostly people buying more than one card. So it might be think about like a Josh Allen collector, right? So they have the mosaic and they have the prism base and they have, but they need to get the, Score a Treat and the holiday card and the, what I'm saying? Like the stuff that a lot of other sellers don't really list.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of clean up on that stuff. I just sold a Mike Vrabel card. I mean, $2.99 for a Mike Vrabel, Score a Treat card. There's some good like Hall of Famers in those sets, and and certain players are hard to hit. I mean, you can open a whole pack and not get most of the cards.
Yeah.
This is a big set, and this year they didn't do the 2 variations. They just kind of did the one design, so that makes it a little harder unless you hit like a numbered card or something.
Well, they did the variation between the rookies and the vets, right? So they
Yeah, but
probably
it's still
considered that one variation.
yeah, but they didn't have like the pumpkins and the bats for every
Yeah.
card. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because that made like last year's set was like almost impossible to build because you had to build 2 sets out of
Yeah,
it.
if you
And
wanted to
you know,
complete that set, good luck.
yeah, I mean, you could buy like 50 packs and you still won't get there, you know?
Yeah.
But they're easy to scan. You know, I look at that stuff a lot more now. You know, hey, I can, it's a lot of packs to rip. Like there's so many packs, but just only a few cards in each one. But anyway, you rip them all, you make a nice stack, you get them through the scanner and you list them, and pretty easy. You can fit a ton of them in a bag so they don't take up a lot of space. And you know, the better vets and stuff sell well and they sell for decent money.
Yeah.
So, you know, and you're getting you know, I think the market price, depending on where you go, of course, but I think it was like what, 20, $22, something like that for a pack of those. You know, if you can get them down to like 10, $12, like that would be a heck of a deal
Yeah.
for that many cards. So I don't know. But let's kind of hang it up on the shopping side of Black Friday and talk about more importantly, what can we do to get sales on Black
Yeah.
Friday? So do you have any strategies for Black Friday?
Well,
Cyber Monday,
really,
you know, Thanksgiving
yeah.
weekend, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, really, it's just that stuff has been going on already to get ready for it. That's my strategy. Is just build up some more inventory, some good flashy stuff that catches the eye. A lot of casual buyers. We kind of talked about getting ready for the holiday retail season, and I think
Yeah.
you know it's just the kickoff of that season, so a lot of those same rules apply. I will likely kick out a newsletter a few days before Black Friday as well to make sure people are thinking of my store when they're sitting around just browsing on Friday or after their meal on Thursday. You know, so that they start browsing, they're thinking of JC3 cards and collectibles. So
Yeah, I almost think of Black Friday as more of Thanksgiving afternoon.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
because people are watching. There's football on, of course, right? So they're watching football, and then nobody can sit and just watch something like and that be their only focus. You got to have your phone out
right.
too, right? So
Well, these days, yeah,
yeah, so you know, try to get out as much as you can out there to grab that attention, even right away on Thanksgiving Day.
yeah,
Thanksgiving, I think, has evolved quite a bit over the past. I mean, all holidays for that matter. I hear a lot about a lot less traditional type of Thanksgivings where people will wait and do it on the weekend because people got to work, or they'll do, you know, well, nobody wants to sit and bake a turkey all day, so we just order pizza. You know, like you hear more like that kind of stuff. Um, so you know, I I think you could get some more deals done right away on Thanksgiving if you're set up pretty well. But I agree with you. I think the main thing is just make sure your store is full, have some good stuff out there,
mhm,
contact your customers, you know, send them coupons, send them a newsletter, um, you know, whatever you can do without spamming, of course. um, and yeah, just be ready and get ready to ship, pack your stuff, get it out on time, and, you know, send business cards out. Like it's a good opportunity to build some follower and customer base too.
sure, yep,
And you know, I still think most of your buyers at for that week is still going to be like actual customers, not people buying gifts for others. I don't think we're quite. I don't think those people are necessarily shopping on Black Friday for single cards for somebody. I'm sure there's some, but I don't think it's quite as heavy as like the December buying. At least that I can recall. But I think the key thing for me, and we talked about this a little bit earlier today, is I'm going to do I'm going to do a bunch of live selling on that day
Okay.
because first of all, Whatnot charges 0% commission for the day, which is unbelievable.
Yep.
So everything you sell is your profit, other than like your giveaways or whatever. And I don't know if you know this, but it's not just on your live sales; it's also in your store sales.
In the marketplace. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure I have a lot of stuff on there in the marketplace, but I want to make sure I'm doing some live selling because essentially it can advertise and get some more sales in the fixed price side. So
Sure. Yeah.
so I want to do that. I'm going to put some auctions on eBay. Try to kind of have them end at a few different points in the holiday week. You
Mm-hmm.
know, some on Thursday, some on Friday, some on probably on Saturday too.
Okay.
So it's kind of the same concept, right? Just try to get a random buyer that's, you know, looking at a card that's coming due on auction and go, oh, well, I can buy more and save and get the candy bar at the checkout sort of thing.
Sure.
So I'm going to do that. Collects, I don't have any plans for that thing. I put my cards out there, I make some sales, and that's kind of the end of that. They don't have a lot of tools to really like advertise
They
well.
don't. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
not much
So
market.
yeah. But my other big plan, which is not really necessarily tied to sales or not immediate sales, is I started a Shopify store. And I want to kind of work on that some since I have more time, you know, next weekend to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my goals because I'd love to have the Shopify store like really full and looking good by you know, like the second week of December at the latest.
Okay.
Try to get some of those holiday sales, figure out how I want to do my like paid advertising and things, you know. That's the struggle with selling from your own website. Yeah, you get to keep all the money, but you got to figure out how to get your customers
Yeah.
there. I won't have business cards in time. Like there's some other things that, well, maybe I could if I ordered them like nowish. I might have some cards for it. Um, but I don't necessarily want to rush it out there either. You know,
Yeah.
if it's my actual site and it's totally my branding, I want to make sure that it's at least pretty darn close to exactly what I envision.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
Shopify, I have like no background with. I never
mhm.
even heard of Shopify until I met you and learned a little bit about, your side business. I just don't see any advertising from them ever, or I don't know how
Well,
they
2 years ago they had a Super Bowl commercial, so I mean they definitely do some advertising. Probably, I would say at this point they're probably the largest um like templated retail selling market
Okay.
for online store building in the entire United States. So I mean they're completely legit. Um but and I run a store on there already. We've talked about that in the past and it does well, and you know, I obviously I have a lot of experience with it and I know how to build it and how to fill the orders and use the analytics and all that kind of stuff. So it for me it's just a natural progression. Basically, it's going to cost you like $29.95 a month because you have to have full cart support so that people can take you know, items you list, add it to a cart, check out, and pay. Right? I mean, that's kind
Yeah.
of important. So you have to have that kind of subscription. They have all kinds of like plugins and, you know, cross-selling tools, and like they have some nice stuff. I haven't done a lot with that because the stuff I was selling before was like small, you know, had like a small market base, so
Right.
I wasn't really putting it out to like the average human. But obviously with cards, you know, I can bring it out a little, bring it out a little more, hopefully, you know. But you
Yeah.
can accept all forms of payment on there. You know, you can have animated listings, which is kind of fun. So you could have like the front of the card, flip over to the back of the card, and then come back, and
Hmm.
you know, it would do that as somebody was looking at, you know, the listings.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So there's a lot of really cool things to it. You can of course buy your own .com for it. So there's, some URL cleanup there, which can be nice versus, ebay.com/user/ but uh, you can have it point directly to your Shopify store.
All I hear lately is what is it, GoDaddy? And
Yeah,
if your goggles ain't Goggins, they don't belong on your
the
noggin.
Goggins, yeah. The GoDaddy, I've been using GoDaddy for hosting forever.
Yeah.
They do a great job. And they can pretty much, if an address is available out there, that's who you're going to get it from.
Okay.
So, you might as well go to where it is, and you got to pay their price. So you got to decide, how important is the URL to you, versus kind of stretching out and maybe taking something else for a little bit less money. But
Yep.
yeah, you just pay them annually, and they renew it each year for as long as you want to keep it, and they point really well. They don't ever. No, I say this, I'm gonna, hurt myself going forward, but they don't ever really like go down or anything. Like it always works.
Really reliable.
Yeah, there's a lot of like hosting sites that are kind of shady and iffy as like holding up and stuff. And when you're doing it for your business, you really want to have something solid. And GoDaddy just has, they've been around a long time. They know what they're doing.
Now, of course, the big bonus with Shopify is CDP's direct listing there now.
Correct. So that's kind of what I was waiting for. Actually, I had a Shopify store connected to Car Dealer Pro forever, because that was an option before, but you couldn't you couldn't move the listings there. I knew that was going to be happening at some point, so I just kind of let it sit there, and then boom, that showed up, and pretty much that day I messaged you and I said, "So I opened a Shopify store." It's still hidden. I don't have you can't go and check it out. We'll update that as it gets more ready, but it's just in construction mode, and I'm just working on getting the look I want. And because you have to do a little bit more than you would with like your eBay store. You have to pick like all your background images and banners and what your icons are. Like everything's a templates. Okay, so you go there and you kind of choose a basic template of what you sort of want your stuff to look like, and then you go in and start throwing in your own images and stuff like that.
That kind of sounds like a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to set it up at first, but ultimately, if you really want to be a true, legit, successful business, you do have to run not on someone else's platform where you're paying them. That is the true goal, especially if you can get sales without paying for a lot of advertising. The margins just shoot way up, and you can still pay it. You can still pay like for listing on Google and things like that. Obviously that's especially when you're starting out. But the goal would be I have enough customers on the other platforms that I can get those customers to go directly to my site, and I probably give them a better price because I don't have to pay eBay or whatnot or collects or whatever.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So, to me, it was a no-brainer. I've been working with Shopify for a long time, so
sure.
And I think I said that to you even a couple of years ago, even before you kind of got into this. I said I'm going to create my own website and list my, my products there. There's a couple of downsides to doing that from day one. The obvious one is you don't have any customers. And number two is it takes you a while to build the inventory, and it's important if you're going to try to sell completely on your own to have a very robust, wide interest inventory, because it's not going to have like as much target marketing and things like that like you do through eBay and stuff. So you want to try to. My goal when I would set up a website for sales is anybody who comes here for this type of item, right? Obviously, if you don't like cards, I'm not going to have anything for you, but assuming you like cards, right? And that's your motivation for shopping on my site, I want every single person who comes to my site to be able to find something that they would be interested in. And that's a tall number.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So, all my non-sport, all my sport, everything will be thrown on there. They also don't have a limit as to how many listings you can have with their cart, that's a huge advantage over some other like retail shopping hosts, if you will,
Hmm.
website builders. So I think I'm kind of at a stage where I can do that. I can start throwing all my stuff on there, keep adding to it. Like I said, no limits, so I can just scan, and even just if I want to just send it to Shopify, I could do that too. But yeah, it gives you a little bit more freedom because you can kind of go and do what you want with the site versus eBay has to be pretty structured.
Right. And we all know your stance on listing limits.
I will never understand until the day I die why eBay limits listings. It is the dumbest decision. I mean, it probably made sense. To be honest with you, it probably did make sense back in the day, and I have given them the credit for this because storage and photos and all that stuff was kind of a premium, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore. It's so stupid to limit any of that. Somebody replied to me once.
All the Bezos, and he keeps it for us and sells it to people on the side.
Yeah. Well, even for the data would be valuable, right? I mean, even if they didn't get any, even if you're listing stuff they didn't get a lot of sales out of, the data would matter. But and I was just going to say that's what somebody said to me a while ago. Like, well, they don't want, everybody listing all their junk on there. I'm like, why not? People buy it. I saw all kinds of weird shit. I mean, there's entire YouTube channels dedicated to like weird stuff that's sold on eBay. Yeah. So why not, why does eBay get to dictate what sells and what doesn't? Like that, that's not what they want to do. They should want to be as free and open as possible because it's going to make them more money.
Yeah.
So just because, you collect pictures of people's fingernails, that is a little unusual. But why should eBay say, well, we can't be a marketplace for something like that? That, as long as it's legal, of course, right? But I don't know, it was a weird example I used, but I was trying to think of something way off the wall, and that's pretty good, right? I mean, you gotta admit.
That was so weirdly specific. I feel like you have a collection of pictures of fingernails.
It does appear that way, doesn't it? But I do not, and I have zero interest in fingernails. But yeah. So I don't understand, and they loosened it up, right? It used to only be 10,000 listings in a premium store. And then during COVID, they were trying to take advantage of what was going on during COVID, which was smart. And then in certain categories, they gave you that additional 50,000.
Yeah.
Which basically made it feasible for all of us to do what we're doing and why we're here today.
Mm-hmm.
Because selling $1 cards when you could only sell, list 10,000 cards is not going to really create you a very robust business.
Right.
So, and I know somebody's going to say, well, more listings doesn't guarantee you more money. Well, it doesn't, because I guarantee you my 60,000 listings is getting me more sales than your 10,000 listings because there's just that much more to choose from. Mm-hmm. You have that many more. Now, if it's 60,000 listings of the same card, no. So you have to have some, diversification in your listings too, to get to different buyers. But
I'd like to see someone try that. 60,000 copies of the same card.
Don't limit the listings and I'll try it.
Can we get the Guinness World Records for that? The most copies of a single card?
Yeah. Can you imagine the juice in that algorithm when you start getting sales on that card and it's like,
yeah. Who would it be? Who would
that we sales history pumps
to be our target?
Like for the player or?
Yeah. I mean,
probably on my side of things and what I do, it would be Favre because that is
Okay.
where most of my multi listings are.
Yeah.
But I think as far as like liquidity wise and where things would keep moving would probably be Jordan. But
Okay.
you'd have to find 60,000 copies of a
Yeah, that
Jordan
would be
card.
a challenge. See,
That'd be
I
not
think
only
you'd
would it
have
be
to
a
find that.
challenge, it'd be a big capital investment.
Yeah, I think you'd have to
You know,
find that right mix of liquidity and availability.
yeah, and hype, right? You could throw some
Yeah,
hype players in there and stuff,
yeah,
but yeah. So in whenever you're in business, there's always these challenges, and you can't just go, well, that's it. You know, I can't do my business because of the. No, it's all about problem solving, right? Getting around something, finding loopholes, whatever you got to do.
yeah,
So that's been my strategy ever since. Okay, well, they're going to allow me 60,000 listings. Well, guess what? I'm going to open another store and put another 60,000 listings in there of some like items, but different enough that it warrants another store.
right.
You know, and then I'm going to have collects, and then I'm going to have whatnot, and now I'm going to start a Shopify store, you know, which all those have unlimited listings, and so eBay is still king, so I'm not going anywhere. But there's other playing fields that have some good advantages.
That's true. That's a good point.
So that's my sort of my add-on buying strategy for kicking off Black Friday, and you know, trying to boost some sales and to be in more markets than to try to do anything else. You know, years past it would have been, oh, new coupons and this and that. I'll have that stuff too, but that's not world changing anymore. That's just like what I do every year. So
Yeah,
you have to keep coming up with some new strategies and some new things to add on, and I believe that's a good way to
yeah,
expand. And whatnot, giving you zero commission for the day, you better not pass on that. That's a sweet deal.
yeah. So estimates say that buyer demand on Black Friday with that zero commission is going to be 30 to 60% higher than well, sellers are going to be higher because of zero commission, but demand that day, why it's lucrative is because it's 30 to 60% higher than a typical Friday. And Friday's already one of the busiest days of the week, right?
Yeah, and honestly, you know, for me, and I've talked about this before, I haven't done any recently. I haven't had the oomph to do it, but um it's so much easier to run a show now because all my inventory is there. I just have to, you know, search what in. So that's a good segue because I have a few ideas for the shows that I would like to run.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we'll cover this real quick, and then we'll get into some chat because I know plenty of you want to pick on me and Charlie for things, so we want to make sure you get your moment in the spotlight for that. Um, but it's kind of ironic because you sent me that AI description of our show tonight,
Yeah.
and I read through it. It was long, and I read through it, and part of it was like suggestions of like types of shows, right, or themes
Yeah.
or products or whatever. And it's funny. So I have a list of like 7 different ideas I had for shows, and like 4 of them were on that list
Yeah.
that AI sent. So I was like, sweet. I kind of know what I'm doing, maybe. Um, so the first one was to do some mystery packs. Now this is a little bit of an extra challenge because you kind of have to. Um, Whatnot has some rules now, right? For repacks and blind pack stuff, you have to kind of disclose what's in it and odds and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's a mystery, but you still have to say like, okay, well, 1 in 10 will get hit a card of this value or whatever. So I don't even know exactly how that works because I haven't done a show there for that. So that would be
Mhm.
work. Plus, it's not like current inventory, so I would have to like make some mystery packs, and you know, it'd be more work. But it could be a good time to do that because I think when somebody needs to get something for someone and they're into cards, but they don't know what cards they want, mystery packs or repacks are perfect, right? You know, if I was buying, I know you're into cards, but I don't know what cards you want or what players you collect. I
Yeah.
could go onto this site, buy a mystery pack for $10, and it says, "Hey, you got a shot at something really nice here." I could buy that and send that to you as a Christmas gift, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I look at that one. Lots, so I can take like things I do have, quantity or bulk of that I don't want anymore, or hasn't been selling well, something to that effect, and throw a lots show together. I think that could be good. Football quarterbacks. So we're kind of coming to that peak time of the year where, um, the fields are being separated, and you can tell certain teams are going to kind of make it and some aren't.
Yeah.
And usually the QBs are the value that follows that. Excuse me. Next is basketball stars, and specifically Shaq, Jordan, and Kobe. I don't have a ton of Kobe right now. I spend all my collects credits on Kobe cards because I never find any otherwise. So that's been a good strategy. But I'd love to do a basketball stars show, just something different, and I have enough of it, and I think that could do well. We're into the basketball season now, and if you think about like Christmas, that's kind of for sports wise on Christmas Day, it's kind of dominated by bowl games, right? So you do have football in there,
Yeah.
but also there's the NBA. There's always a couple of NBA hype games on Christmas Day. So I thought about that, and then baseball Hall of Famers. This is the right time of year to get a lot of extra sales on that. The season's done, and people are kind of over their current year Cleveland Indians, and they're going back to buying Carlos Baerga and Kenny
Yeah.
Lofton, and who else did I sell? I literally sold cards of these players today, so that's why it was top of my head. Sean Casey, was he Indians draft, I think.
Sean
Um,
Casey was Cincinnati Reds, I believe.
yeah, but I think he got drafted by the Manny Ramirez, he got drafted by the Indians. Like there's a bunch of, I'm just using that as an example anyway, but just that kind of stuff there's some good time now to do that, especially like I said, Hall of Famers would be your
Yeah.
best focus. And then at least one non-sport shows, one specifically Star Wars, and then one for other stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is kind of where I'm coming at as far as some show themes. Let me know, you guys in the chat. What do you think of those? And am I way off base? But the ones that aren't the mystery and the lots would be super easy. So if I want to do football quarterbacks, I can simply go into the search bar and type in the star quarterbacks right now. So I could type in Mahomes and Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and Caleb Williams, and some of those quarterbacks are playing better this year. Aaron Rodgers even, although I think he's out now with the broken hand, but
Yeah, I did hear that.
yeah, it's his non-throwing hand, but still. But anyway, I think I'm excited to do a show where it's gonna be so much easier to load it up and get it ready. So, and I know a lot of people run their shows where it's like, this is item one, and that's all they have, like in the listing in the description. And then they put it on and they run it. That's what it's called when you start the auction. They run it. When it's done, they just have like number one on the back and number two on the back, of the card or whatever for shipping. I like having an actual image and title of the card that I'm selling, because I think it just keeps any confusion at the end of what the person bought and what I need to ship.
Okay.
So that's an advantage to me as far as I see it. So,
Does it take you longer to set it up that way?
well, it would if you didn't have it in your inventory already. Yes.
Okay.
So right now on Whatnot, I can go for example, I can go to my Whatnot inventory. I can type in Josh Allen, and let's say I want to take 20 of the Josh Allen cards and send them to a show. I can just click on which cards I want and have send to show, or I don't know, whatever that button is that says included in a show, and then boom, they're pended for that show. And then when you run the show, the items come up individually.
It actually shows it too.
Yeah, it'll have your images, so it'll have my logo in the image, with the card and all that from the listing. But then when you go to run it, you click on that item, it brings it up on the bottom of the screen like, hey, this is the card you're going to be bidding on, and then you do your used car salesman bid on why everybody needs to own this card. um, hopefully get a couple of bids. You do sudden death if you're doing 10 seconds, whatever it is. Thing ends, and then you're done. I don't have to write anything on it. I don't put sticky notes on it. Toss it aside, because when I go into my whatnot sales, just like you've had whatnot sales for static listings, right? Out of your store.
Yeah.
So you know how when you go in and you go to print the label, it shows you what you sold,
Yeah.
right? And you can see the image and you can see the title. That's what it
Yep.
looks like when I go in to fill the orders from a whatnot live show.
Okay.
As long as I'm taking my current inventory and listing them on the show instead of doing stuff I don't have listed. So
Okay.
big advantage, huge time saver. I think it's more accurate. I think the appearance is nicer for the customers when they're looking at the screen and can see the card. I mean, you're showing them the card on the video. I get that, but the icon on the bottom, the title of the card, if it's a parallel number, your title should be good, right? Because you wrote it to sell it as a not live selling listing. You should have a good solid picture, good solid image of your logo. You should have a good title, and that will all transfer over to that live show. So I'm excited for that. I've been kind of waiting to put a show together with that, and obviously the fact that it's going to be free is the right motivation to, and I'm going to have the time to do it. It's going to be the right motivation to get it out there and see how it does.
Yeah, I've got to make a decision here pretty soon, because if I'm going to do something, I'm going to have to get ready pretty soon. But part of me is like, is that the right time to do your very first show if you're not, skilled and practiced at it? Maybe not. But then the other part of me is like, there's never a better time to have a built-in first show audience than on Black Friday.
Right.
It's
kind of like YouTube. You can't just like, oh, I don't have it perfect, blah, blah. You just have to do it. You got to post something.
Yeah.
And you know what? If your show sucks and you don't sell anything, all you're out is the time. Like,
Yeah.
So, try to choose some cards that would have probably some more general interest, since you don't have a big audience. I have quite a few followers now. I get a lot of followers just having this, the fixed listings in the store.
Yeah.
But
and even though I'm working, I would be able to make the evening rush, basically from 5 to 10. That'll actually be projected to be the biggest rush of buyers out there on it. So I would still be able to make that and do like a 60 or 90 minute show, 40 to 70 cards, whatever. Probably mostly, low end $1 to $3 cards, spice in a couple double-digit cards here and there, do a couple lots. I think I could make that work, but I should at least this week try and do the trial run.
Yeah, that's a nice feature that I don't even think that was around when I did my first show, but yeah, it's like anything, when you're gonna go live or give a speech or do whatever, a little prep is gonna go a long way.
Yeah.
So have your cards organized, be ready to have a nice stand with presentation to put your card on. We got our custom stand-up stands, or whatever the heck those are called. Use that, have some decent lighting, get your camera all set ahead of time, and then you basically just throw a card on the stand and say, here's this Jerry Rice, 87 Topps card, looking for $1. Hopefully you get a bid, and boom, sold, next one.
Yeah.
And you just kind of you got to run through stuff as fast as you can. You could end up with a 6-hour show and sell 5 items otherwise. So
right.
The more you chat, the more you talk up the item, the longer you take in between running an item, hitting the button where the auction is actually occurring. The harder it is going to be for you to keep your audience engaged that is bidding, and keep yourself from doing, a 10-hour show for 200 items or something. So it's easier said than done, because you kind of like when I'm a sales guy, right? I'd always worked in sales, and you want to get through that pitch, right? Like you want your time to make your convincing.
Right.
And this is such quick turnover type stuff. You just really don't have the time to do that. You have to kind of, oh, this is a nice card, sharp corners. It's a silver parallel.
Yep.
Here we go.
12 to 15 seconds.
Hit the
That's it.
button. Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much. And then, oh, sold, great, toss that aside. Oh, didn't sell, put it in front of you to create a lot later or whatever you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
List it somewhere else, but keep the show moving.
Yeah.
Especially on a day like that when there's going to be a ton of shows.
My biggest thing that I just need to think through is how the organization goes of, how do you keep track of what's sold, what's not, what's sold to who, make sure you get it all right at the end.
Well, and I think, and that's precisely my point of why I don't like just the random, card number 1 listing and card number 2 listing. That's why I like the image and the title, because I don't have to care. I can just take all the cards and keep tossing them aside as they go, and just like how
the pick list at the end then.
Correct. So when you go into your sales, you just, hopefully you can bundle, hopefully you have some multiple sales to people and things like that. And you just kind of put that order together just like eBay, and you pull those cards and oh geez. I will not be saying anything like that in my live show, just so you guys know. I will be starting with a yo.
7 cards. Oh, 6, 7 cards.
So I don't know. That's my theory on how to run a correct whatnot show when you have all your inventory already in there, or the bulk of it. It's going to be so much. It's going to be so easy for me to sort like which cards I'm selling.
Easier,
yeah. So I type in Josh Allen, it pulls them all up. I click them all and have a Josh Allen show, just as an example.
Yeah.
I don't have to even pull them. Well, I guess I do have to pull them out of the drawer ahead of time, but I have the SKU numbers for all that. So I'd pull all those cards, and then, you try to sell them all. You got a few left, and you're going to keep them in the store. Fine. They just go right back in the bag. So,
yeah.
I'm going to do it when it's 0%. I can't find a better deal than that, on a popular platform for them to not take a cut. That's a good deal.
Talking about pulling cards by SKU, I got a bone to pick with everybody. I need to know who swiped my Joe Ryan rookie Bowman Platinum that I've been sitting on for 2 years and spent an hour looking for last night. I know one of you took
it. I think all of us have been through that. I have a PSA graded card I sold that I can't find. I'm like, how's that even possible? I have like hardly any of those listed. Like, so I don't know if
it's just totally
my guess is I double listed it and I sold it a copy, the copy a while ago, and so obviously it's not there now. I don't know.
That's the thing. I'm like, Joe Ryan does not sell that many cards, and I can probably remember exactly how many cards I listed. And I even went back 2 years in my history, and I did not. The only other Joe Ryan card I sold was a mini, and it wasn't the mini. So ended up, basically digging out each row of a box to see if it slid down underneath or something. Never did find it. Had to cancel the order.
Yeah, whatever. I'm totally over that. If I have to cancel an order, usually what I'll do is I'll reach out to the customer, depending on what the card is. But let's say they bought a Allen Iverson Prism base card. I might reach out to the customer and say, hey, I can't find this card, but I got this, Allen Iverson optic base card, same value. Do you want that one? A lot of times the buyer's like, sure, sounds good, whatever. So at least that way you still got something you can send out and don't have to cancel the order. But if it's really the card they wanted and you don't have it, cancel it, move on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I was all excited too because it was one of my non-skewed cards, meaning it's one of my oldest cards, and I'm like, yes, move something out of that box. It's down to like half a box now, and then I couldn't find it.
Yeah, and those non-skewed ones are the toughest ones because you have no reference point to, find it anywhere. If it's not in that box, where the hell is it?
Well, and then I looked at the listing date because I thought, oh, maybe I just forgot to put the SKU on it. Well, the listing date was I think well after I started skewing cards, and I was like, oh, well, I recycled some stuff, ended and sell similar, and that's
Mhm.
probably why I have a more recent date on it. But I still checked on some of the SKU bags. I went through like 6-7 SKU bags around that date and still never found it. Just one of the
That
joys.
honestly, Charlie, that was me too last night. I had the same issue. I had sold 2 cards out of a bag. And you know how I date mine and then I add like the
Yeah.
bag number afterwards? So I sold a card about a week ago and I go in and I'm like, I don't even have a bag with that number on it. That's impossible.
Yeah.
And then I sold a card yesterday and it was like a Mike Trout top stars card, nothing special. And they bought a bunch of other cards. And it was out of that same bag and it stuck in my head because, I couldn't find the other bag. And I'm like, did I lose like a whole bag of cards? It's super random.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I was pulling another order and I went back like a couple of days and I started digging through. I'm like, oh, I put the bag in the wrong spot.
Yep. Been there.
So I'm
Yep.
like, great. So I pulled it out and, I messaged the guy back with the trout and I'm like, hey, I found the card. I'll send it out to you. So at least I was able to make whole on that one pretty quick, but
Yeah.
it's just par for the course. And what I can tell you is when you get to even bigger inventory numbers, it gets even harder. So, because what are you going to do? Dig through all, 200,000 cards you have bagged to try to find it.
Right.
So,
Right.
the other thing I'll do sometimes is try to see if I have another copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's that base Allen Iverson card or whatever, I'll be like, dang it, I don't have the bag or it's not in the bag or whatever. Let me look up this card. I got one in another bag. I just end that listing and send them that one.
Right.
Hopefully
Right.
the other one eventually turns up and then you just list it.
Yep. Or sometimes I find it in my
So,
back stock too, because I usually have my back stock separated by sport, so it's at least somewhat organized.
sure. Yeah, makes sense. It's one to me, it's one of the negatives to end listing sell similar because you'll lose that initial
Original
listing
listing.
date. And I
Yeah.
found cards because of that. Oh, I have September 9th instead of November 9th, on that
Right.
bag, or I have 2024 instead of 2025, or
Yep.
but looking at the listing date, I can be like, oh, I get it. I just have it on the wrong,
Yeah.
put it in the wrong month, whatever it was.
Yeah. 90% of the time, if I have trouble finding a card in inventory, either that listing date helps me find it, or it's the bag right before it or right after because I
Yep,
did such a
same.
large pile of listing that night.
Yeah, or I thought I was gonna fit them all in that bag, and I didn't. So these
Yeah.
went in the second bag, and I just didn't think to go like update the SKU number
Yep.
or whatever. But yeah,
Yep.
it's usually
Yeah.
a pretty quick solution. But yeah, when stuff is not skewed at all, it's terrifying for sure.
Every once in a while, you get that one that just sticks.
I still have about like a drawer and a half or so of unskewed stuff, so I very regularly get a card that I got to pull out of there.
Yeah.
At least a few times a week. So I still have enough where it's like a pain. And then you got to dig for it because I don't have it bagged. I don't have it skewed
Yep.
or anything. So I don't know where
Yep.
it is exactly.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
got about 3 rows of a monster box with some unskewed stuff. Yeah.
yeah, I had a ton of it. I had like an entire cabinet of it and I worked
Right. I
really
remember.
hard to get the stuff skewed. I'm just kind of coming to the end of it and I'm like, I don't want to do it now. So I'm just going to let the stuff sell. If I get to like a really small pile of something and it, makes more sense to just skew it, fine. I
Yeah.
guess I'll do it. But
Yeah.
it's so manageable now that I don't want to take the time to bag it all.
Yep. For sure.
But anyway, enough of my inventory issues. Let's let's get on to the chat, shall we?
All right. Let's jump in there. Got quite a bit built up. Wolfie Joe was first in tonight. He says Charlie needs a bootleg Tops Now coach card. That would be fun.
Hey, I'm a coach too, kids. Yeah, no,
That's right.
yeah. There are a lot of different places where you can make custom trading cards. So
Yeah.
that's something you want, we can definitely do it.
Yeah.
So
Daryl Valley's here. He says, "Hi guys, oi oi oi. Wanted to
nice.
know what do you deal or wanted to know what do you deal with lower grade cards that might be in a collection you buy. So what do you do with them? Do you sell them singularly at lower price or do you bundle them as a lot?"
Charlie puts them in his dime box and then I buy them out of there and I sell them.
That's one strategy. Yes.
Unless it's like an ultra modern card that was run over by a truck, I list everything and I just disclose what it looks like. And you'd be surprised. Some people want the most beat up card or a card that's been drawn on, a face drawn on it or something.
Yeah.
There's interest in those areas. So um just list it. You might sell it. If you don't,
Yeah.
figure out what you do with it at that point. But um you paid for them, you bought the collection, so try to see if you can get them up and get a buyer for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot is fine too.
Typically
You could do it as a lot.
I look at what's the rarity of that card. I'll list things with a lot more condition issues on a rarer card, a more
Or
common
vintage.
card. Yeah, a more common card. Junk wax and stuff like that. Adam's right. I usually end up just putting it in my dime box. Lots
Yeah.
lots are something Adam and I, neither of us do a whole lot of.
No, I hate them.
I have good intentions to do some lots sometimes, and I have so many singles to list that I hate to pull time away from that to build a lot.
Lots take time too, because you want to curate them so they make sense.
Yeah.
So even in this case, right? So he's like lots of cards that are in poor condition. Well, you still need somebody to try to find somebody who wants all those cards in that lot in that condition, and that's gonna be tough. That's a tall task. So, and it's so much easier to list single cards. They run them through my scanner, double check the card dealer pro, upload them, and done.
Yeah.
Lots, you got to take a photo of it. You got to describe all the cards. And so there's people that say, well, this is easier to sell this thing this way because it's less work or whatever. The work is just different. Anything you make money on is you're going to have to take, time and effort to put together. Otherwise somebody else would be doing it and getting the money.
Yeah.
It's just like live selling versus, static selling. Well, live selling, I can sell my cards a lot faster. I don't have to do inventory. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, but you got to set up your show. You have to be live and present during the whole thing. You still got to ship. You get less money for the cards because you're just pushing them, quick out the door. Like it's not the, oh, well, screw eBay. I'm just going to go to all live shows and then, I'm going to buy my retirement home with that. Like that. It's not that. None of it's that simple or everybody would be doing it.
Yeah. You just reminded me of a good point we didn't talk about with the live selling for Black Friday. We talked about more buyers and a major buyer increase in volume. But one of the things that the stats bear out is that you should also expect an average sale price drop of 5 to 15% for the day because there is so much more volume going and people are out there looking for deals.
I was just gonna say that is the day where it's the deal diggers that are trying to get something.
Yep.
So
you need to have kind of a mind shift of, hey, I'm focusing on volume, not so much margin, right?
Yep, for sure.
All right. Next chat, Designated Heckler is here. What the heck? I sign on at the crack of 6:08 and Dollar Box Live is already going. It really is a magical time of year. Ho ho ho, not yo yo yo.
Nice. Yeah, I mean you're right. That I think we're quirky, right? Our show, our personalities and things. I think I really enjoy like this is gonna sound stupid because it doesn't make sense to not have consistency when you're going for consistency, but I like the randomness of the time we start. I think that's fun. And you guys in the chat, you pointed out almost every week, oh, hey, look, I'm here and it already started, or, it's 8:10. Where are these yahoos, Um, so I think that's part of the fun. I'm glad everybody kind of enjoys it. I mean, we kind of get started at the same time every week, but not the time we say we're gonna get started. That's like 8:05 through 8:08. Those are probably like the real times we start. Even though we announce our show at 8:00, so give some time for the chat group to sort of build up some membership before we get on.
Sure. Designated Heckler and I were also having a little bit of a chat in the Discord today. We were talking about people just starting to sell on eBay, and some tips and tricks for that. And I was talking about he had a list of things that he felt it was a good list of things for new sellers to think about when they're starting out. But as I was looking it over, I mentioned, I think Adam and I have talked about everything on this list at some point or another in the show, but not in a single show. And we tend to get questions come back after a period of time. New viewers come in, they haven't seen some of those shows. It's probably about time we think about putting an episode together where we kind of run it back and reset new sellers on eBay.
Next week's episode will be 15 hours long, and we're going to cover everything. So grab some popcorn and a blanket and, whatever you need to feel safe. We'll be ready for that marathon.
I think next week's show is actually going to be very laid back because it's the night before the holiday. There may be some alcohol and some food involved.
Ooh, Charlie's buying.
All right, moving on. Boom Slang is here, and he says, "Yo, single yo,
yo." I'll finish you off there. Yo.
Wait,
welcome back.
What? Oh, let's move on.
Stop.
What? Don't bring out the goat again.
That's for next week because you need to see the stuffed goat next week.
Stuffed goat next week. Yeah.
Yep.
Susie's here. Good day from Australia.
Good day. That's my Australian. It was great, wasn't it?
Nailed it. Keith All is here. What's up? I'll have my first table next week at a local show. Any tips or advice? Oh, I got one for you. Sell everything.
My biggest tip for setting up as a show is put the price tags on your crap.
Yeah. Or at least signage that says everything in this box is the same thing, right?
Yeah. If you don't mark prices, that people like me and Charlie will walk right past your table.
Yeah.
Time is money, and I don't want to be asking for price on each card, and you got to look them all up. Like nobody wants that. So price your stuff. So I want to interject here a little bit before we go further in the chat, because speaking of that, Charlie and I run a little card show. If you guys didn't know, it's called the Goat Show, and our next show is January 4th. So mark your calendars. We will be doing a live from the show. We'll have BB Breaks breaking live again. We've got some great prizes in our drawing. We've got an Aaron Jones on-field autograph jersey. A couple other things we're going to add in. We haven't totally nailed that down yet. We do have our charity. We're doing St. John's Parish. Is that right?
Is that confirmed? I know we discussed that. I didn't know if
it did get confirmed. I'm just probably screwing up the name. But anyway, we're doing a food collection, which tends to be our most popular way to do it. So you bring in a non-perishable food item, and we'll give you a ticket into the entry for the drawing for the prizes. The top prize being that Aaron Jones autograph jersey. We'll get a few other things thrown in, probably some Pokemon stuff and that kind of thing. So, but we're what did she say? 82%, I think we were sold out.
Correct. Yeah.
So, I mean, boom, the show sells out faster and faster and faster each time. And
And it's going to be a new year.
it's going to be a new year. It's a January show, always a great crowd. We got our poster out there. I don't know if do you have the poster, Charlie? I suppose
I
you
do
could.
not have it yet. No.
Yeah, I don't either. We do have the poster, so we'll share that next week. And yeah, so we hope to see a lot of you there. We did put some boosts out. We've got some advertising, to some websites and things like that. So we're pushing the show like we normally do. And then flyers will be going out next week too. So another reason why I got to stop at the local card shop. That's usually my excuse. Oh, I got to run some flyers over there and dig through the dollar box for 2 hours.
Right? Yeah.
You do what you got to do. But yeah, so we're very proud of the show. It's going well. Happy to be back. January 4th, 9 to 2 p.m. at the historic Riverside Ballroom on Main Street in Green Bay. And Charlie and I will do a live show. So if you can't join us, if it's not the local thing for you, try to watch. We always get some pickups early on, and give you kind of a feel for what the show floor looks like and the activity, and show you our pickups and stuff. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to
Got
it.
it.
Also, the show is in the morning, and I'm a straight banger in the morning versus what I do this time of night is just hang on.
You are. We are complete opposites that way. You're up at
Yep.
3:00 in the morning. I'm going to sleep at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, this has been a testament of my fortitude, or a test of my fortitude for this time we've been doing this show, because every night I'm like, oof, I don't know if I can get past that 10 o'clock hour. I do it pretty much every week. Other than the weeks we weren't able to have a show, but it's pretty rough for a bit at the end there. So I hope you all enjoy that, watching me like almost fall asleep and yawn and do all those things. It's not because I'm bored. It's not because I don't like you. It's because I started at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's now 8 p.m. So it's a long day.
Yep. Back to Keith. I think Adam's right. That's the biggest thing. Just be clear on your pricing so people aren't having to ask about everything. I tend to like so I like this and I don't like it. And Adam, you're gonna know what I mean by this. I kind of like an organized table, but sometimes I love just a messy, crazy table too. So as a buyer, sometimes those messy, crazy tables are gold mines. But if I'm thinking about my time spend, I love the organized table, and I'm probably gonna hit that table right away on my way through because I can see exactly what I'm going for in there.
I think the other thing is to make sure you have a variety of things you're selling. If you're just going to bring 2 showcases with high-end cards in it, I mean, obviously if you get some sales, you're going to be doing pretty good, with just a couple of sales. But if you're not getting the buyers at the show that are looking for that stuff, you're kind of out. You probably won't get much sales at all. So have some $1 stuff. If you want to have some $5,000 stuff, that's great, but have some $1 stuff, have some packs, some hobby boxes, some supplies isn't even a bad idea at a show, and then just some variety in what you're selling, especially by price point.
Yeah. And you said it's a local show, so I would imagine you're going to be looking to be a regular there. Get to know buyers because you'll see the same buyers coming back.
And make sure you tell them to visit the Dollar Box.
There you go.
And JC3 Cards and Collectibles. We're famous here on YouTube. They should be able to find us without any issue. And join the chat. We would love to have more people join us. So promote our show, please.
So best of luck to you, Keith. I hope you sell out your table.
Same here. Also, we're not the best guys to give you advice for selling at a card show because we kind of suck at it. And it's not really our thing. We just kind of do it as supplemental. But So we're mainly giving you this advice from the perspective of the buyer because we're buyers, not really
Right.
sellers at a show.
What do we like to see? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dan is with us tonight. He says he comes into the stream and Adam is talking about his collection of fingernail pictures. What up, fellas?
Yeah. I'm gonna build a website in the background with all these photos and charge for people to look at them. That's my plan. We'll see how it goes.
He says, anyone participating in the Trade Anything GameStop Day? Kind of want to go just to see what people bring.
I mean, okay, so you have to, if you're doing it for fun, that's great. If you think like you're gonna take, I don't know, this tape gun in, for example, and trade it and actually get something for it, no, they don't. They give you like $5 off your next purchase or something of a game, which you could get anyway. So, and I think don't you have to be a GameStop member in order to do it?
I don't know. I haven't checked
I
out
thought that
this
was
especially since my local store closed down.
yeah. Well, we still have a couple of other ones around, but yeah, I mean, their advertisement, it's like somebody bringing in like a half dead plant in a little pot and like setting it on the counter. And I mean, we're all smart enough to realize they're not going to give you like $100 worth of games for that or
Right.
something, right? Or
Right.
5 packs of Pokemon for this half dead plant. Like you're just going to get like savings cards and discounts and stuff. If anything, I would think it's kind of a neat idea. I like it. I think it's progressive. And certainly, to try to do something fun, I think it would be fun. But I wouldn't expect any real value or anything. I could be wrong. Go in with a gold bar and maybe they'll shock you and pay up for it. But
gold prices the way they are now, you could probably buy the whole store.
Right. So if you got that, shoot your shot, I guess, and see what you can get. But most people are just going to bring in like their junk or their random items or something weird. And can you imagine being an employee there that day? You got somebody bringing in like used adult toys or, like leftover
Only
diapers.
You, only you.
What? Don't tell me it didn't cross your mind. I mean, you could see some pretty wild stuff, like paintings somebody did themselves. I don't know. It could be anything. So, kind of a cool day to work, and then also like terrifying, like what could walk in the door.
I'll pass on it.
Same. I'm not going either.
2.0 long ball is here on eBay. How do you do a U-pick listing? Ooh, that is a long topic. Hence why Adam and I don't do a lot of them.
No, they can be a lot more work. I think they're a little more successful than they used to be, but I hate them for me as a buyer, and I see that I just walk on by. So I tend to do my selling based on what I want as a buyer because I feel like that's the best way for me to run my business. So it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with them. How do you do it? Again, probably not the best guys to ask because we don't run them that way, but you basically just do it as a multiple, listing, right? I mean,
there is a trick to it. It's been a while since I did it now. I saved a template once I set it up. Let's see, 2024. Of course you did. Panini Rookies and Stars base U-pick. There's like something up at the top. I remember that. There we go. In your settings on your listing, the first step you got to do is turn on variations. If you don't do that, you will get totally lost in it.
Got it.
Because you won't see what you're looking for.
I won't be doing that, but good luck to you and let us know how it goes.
Yeah, it's popular for like base cards in a set. And some people have a lot of success with it. It does take quite a while to set it up. From what I
Yeah.
understand, once you get it set up, it's not too hard to maintain. I have maybe 2 of them set up in my listings. I really don't drive a lot of sales out of it personally.
As a buyer, I get annoyed because I go in there and I pull that list, and then the one that I want is sold out. So
Sold out. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
screw you. I'm just going to somewhere where I know it actually
Yeah.
exists. And
Because the whole you pick listing comes up in search results.
yeah, and it's kind of false because I mean there's probably going to be a few items, let's face it, out of the you pick list that are going to be things that people actually want, and then the rest is just the leftovers. Um, so you're kind of like drawing in the person falsely, saying, "Hey, I have this card in this you pick," and then you get there and sold out. Like, dude, not cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much for us to walk through here, long ball, but hey, I think that's a great idea for a discussion on our Discord coming along right there.
Nice.
If you want to join that, we got a great group of people out there that talk through things just like this every day. And then we can spend a little more time walking you through how to set that up.
And it's free.
It is free. Although we always say time is an expense, and it does take time.
It does, but it could save him time too because he can go right to where the people who know how to do it can tell him, and
Yes,
not,
yes.
don't go to like eBay help services or something like that because you don't want that pain upon yourself. But go
Yeah,
to
that's not
Discord
always
where
the easiest.
yeah, yeah, go to where there's actually humans that would be wanting to help you.
There you go. Boomslang says, had to walk the dog, but I'm hoping this didn't come up yet. But what about ComC closing rumors?
I think it's a rumor. I did hear it, but it doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, it took a good long while to sort of build up what they have, and they have all this inventory now that they have from other people sending cards in, and I don't see why they would need to do it. I'm pretty sure they're still making money, and people are still sending them cards. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of the rumors out there on the Reddit boards and things. And what seems to be driving them is ComC's had some really good growth recently, and it sounds like they're struggling a little bit with their infrastructure, keeping up with the shipping and the payouts,
Yep.
things like that. So they're really getting stressed in their operation, which is, I think, leading to some of these rumors about, hey, it's getting to be too much. They're going to shut it down. I don't tend to believe that. I think they've got a pretty successful operation going there. I think another option would be
Sell it.
there may be discussions about getting bought out, and acquired by somebody. So
Let's everybody in the Discord pool all our money together and buy ComC.
there you go.
I think that would be dope.
I was trying to think of a new name for it for check out our cards, but Kook just doesn't fit.
No, no. I mean, it does, but it also doesn't.
Wait. Check out our cards here.
Couch?
No. COOCH.
Cooch?
There you go. Brilliant. Love it. I'm not feeling it from you, Adam. I'm not feeling
No,
it.
it's too late for this BS.
All right. Moving on.
I think if we take over ComC, we'd have to get goat in there somewhere in the name.
Ooh, more goats.
So we let's just call everything goat, but then have the acronym be different words for each thing. That we're doing. So we got the goat show, right? Greatest Green Bay
Green Bay's
officially awesome trading card show. So we could do the goat card exchange, basically. Let's call it that for ComC. What will we stand it for? Have goats stand for?
Man, I don't think you got the energy to think that through right now.
Good Shush. Great operations, affordable. I don't know. I'm at a loss.
Yeah,
You guys come up with something.
there we go. We'll leave it
Send
up
me
to the
how we
chat.
can use Goat as a placement for ComC.
There you go. This should be interesting.
Should.
Jeff Airtime is here. Good evening, sirs. He didn't use the G word though, so he's safe.
That's good. I'll take Sirs. Sirs is fine.
Yeah. One question as I'm up against bed curfew. Do you think eBay can do a better job advertising to buyers how the coupon system works?
Yes.
Definitely.
I think eBay can do a better job in most departments, to be honest with you. They've improved. Especially on the seller side experience. But yeah, and like I generally will run multiple coupons at a time, but it only really shows one to the buyer until they add cards to checkout. And then it's like, oh, I can't get the big coupon or the one that's being, promoted in the banner, but I can get this coupon because I have this many items or whatever
Right.
it is. So,
Right.
yeah, it'd be nice if it kind of flowed a little better when they're looking through the listings instead of the little red banner that says, buy 10, get 50% off. But
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, eBay's open to ideas. If you can find someone to communicate with, you can send them some of your concepts and they will take a look at it. They do listen to seller feedback and things, but I don't know.
He goes on to say at least once a week he has a sale where the buyer would get a free card if they'd simply add it to their cart before checkout, especially this time of year with new users utilizing the site. Yeah, I think we all feel that pain. And then we get more transaction costs too.
Yep. Because it's all about the money in the end, of course. So
it's all about the money. Oh,
yeah. I mean, that's why we're here too, right? I mean, we're trying to make some money. So
that's why we all do what we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Susie says, good ideas for Whatnot shows. Thumbs up.
Yeah, thanks.
Or hooves up. I can't.
I'll let you know if it's any good. I'll once I finally schedule my shows and stuff, I'll throw the links in the Discord, and it'd be awesome if some of you could pop in there. I've done shows in the past and gotten great support from the Discord, members. So, yeah, if anybody's got some time, they're looking for some way to putz around on Thanksgiving or day after Thanksgiving stuff, I'm going to have some shows out there. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I should say not Thanksgiving. It'll be a day after Thanksgiving because the 0% only. Yeah, those 0% only on Black Friday. So I'll only be doing shows on Black Friday. Yeah.
And Marketplace.
Yeah.
Dan says he uses ComC a ton with their relations with eBay and Tops. Oh, they have relations. I don't see it happening. Layoffs happen with every company and you get grumbled employees. I love the platform. Yeah, Dan's a pretty heavy user of ComC. We talk about that from time to time.
Yeah, I have a couple people, some of them are dealers at our show and things that sell almost all their cards through ComC. So I don't know. I feel like there'd be no reason for them to just shut it down because they have an equitable business. They're if anything, they would just take a payout and get it to somebody else that can run it.
Yeah. And he says he'll continue to use it. He has no concerns about it. Let's see here. Boomslang says, thinking about having a vintage baseball card Whatnot auction with just 1972 Tops I found in my garage. She's got around 7,000 of them.
Go for it. I mean, as long as you can get some sales, you're further ahead than them sitting in a box. So, and actually, I was kind of going to bring this up too. I think my vintage is kind of what dominates on Whatnot for my sales now. For a while, it was like non-sport and stuff, but probably a lot of that was I was just copying over all my listings from eBay to it. from the non-sports store, so I think that was why that kind of got a boost. But sold a bunch of vintage cards on Whatnot recently, so I think there isn't that much out there on Whatnot. It's all people with brand, it's a young man's game at Whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's new boxes, it's ultra modern cards, active players, that kind of thing. And there are buyers on there looking for 1972 cards. So you could be, that could be your way to stand out on what you have, what you're offering.
Absolutely. This deserves a repeat. Oh, we're gonna get some sick cards on Black Friday, brah. I love this eye.
I just don't know what to do with this. I can't stand the hype talk type stuff, and trying to think of this kid I just saw caught on YouTube today. He's got like 2 million followers or something stupid, and I don't know why. Jack Doherty. Do you know who Jack Doherty is?
No. Mm-mm.
So this kid with the broccoli haircut, and he does all these videos where he like throws money at people, and then he's got bimbo looking chicks with him and stuff that I'm sure he's paying to be there. And he hangs out with the Island Boys. You know who the Island Boys are?
No.
They're like all tattooed head to toe, and they have like spiky hair. And
all right.
Anyway, they're allegedly music artists or something like that. And I watch stuff like that, and I'm like, who falls for this crap? Like, this kid is nothing, like what is going on? And the reason I bring that, first of all, it's just because I saw it today, but I could totally picture him getting up to the camera and being like, sick card, bro, and no one needs that. No one needs that. So I will not be doing that in my offerings on my live show. It will not be, or my live selling performance. It will not be bid on this sick card, and nobody's my bro.
I don't have any bros. Adam's Whatnot and then be like, I will bid on this card if you tell me how sick it is, bruh. So
you guys are gonna do a sick card raid, right? Sick card bro raid.
Yeah.
You know what? And I was laughing about this with Luna the other night. You know what is the absolute worst thing about Whatnot?
What?
I mean, I'm sure there's a few things that aren't great, but there's definitely one thing that stands out that is just disgusting, and I can't deal with it. Givey.
You gotta have a Givey.
No, you gotta have a giveaway. Givey is not real. That's not a real.
No, we have Giveys.
Ugh. Makes me vomit.
Sound like such an old man.
So I start doing my show, and I'm offering cards, and be like, "Don't forget to enter my Givey." I can't do it. There's no sick cards and there's no Giveys if you come to my show. So that's what you're looking for.
Taking money orders for payment.
Sure, I'll take a money order. Has a lot less fees. I don't have to pay my 30 cents for the transaction.
Wait a while for them.
That's right. They can wait for the card then.
Probably give away butterscotch candies too as a Givey.
Givey.
All right, yeah, Susie's feeling my pain searching for the card. She says, "Yep, listed a card looking for 3 hours."
Sucks. I hate that. And then eventually you're behind on your shipping, and you have to give up and say, "I gotta cancel this one."
Yeah,
time to cut my losses.
I'm like, I'm gonna look for it until this point, and if I don't find it, I'm gonna suck it up, cancel it, and move on.
You got it.
Lions card says, I had that exact situation the night before. Sold a Bryson Barnes out of 24 auto, something I would have in my better card pile, so I shouldn't lose it, but I spent 4 hours looking for it.
You know what is great though, when you spend like those 3 hours and then you actually find it and you're like, yes, I don't have to cancel this one. The bag's in the wrong spot.
Says it was buried in another stack of cards I had just gotten in the mail. Look through all the boxes before the most obvious spot. Love it.
And the good feeling about that is you pull that card out, you get it in the envelope, and you ship it, and you never have to worry about it again because
Yep,
it's not going to be in the wrong spot anymore.
exactly.
It's gone. It's givvied.
Boomslang says, I swear my wife moved 1993 Upper Deck XP Jeter rookies X3. She denies it, but I think she sold them.
Yeah, that card's does pretty well now. So if you had 3 of those and they were in good shape, some value in that
sick?
one for sure. Huh?
Are they sick?
They're sick cards, bro.
Yes! Yes!
Riz.
Perfect!
No cap. 6, 7?
We're gonna convert you.
A what?
We're gonna get you with the broccoli hair, and we're gonna have you saying stuff like that all the time.
I'm 48. I don't think I can grow broccoli hair. That's way under my age range.
We're gonna get your Zion
For
case.
sure.
All right, Lions cards. Oh yeah, we did that one already. Susie says, I'm sure there's a ghost that appears every now and then and takes cards. I think you're right. I think that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, it's the same goblin that steals like the left socks out of the
Right.
dryer, right? Takes your
Exactly.
cards and then takes your socks and he's out of there. They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
Yeah. Yes, Austin Powers quotes.
Yep.
Dan says, has anyone noticed when you end listing and go to your unsolds to sell similar, you lose a listing here and there? Noticed it both times doing it this week.
I haven't done end listing sell similar in a long time, and honestly, it's because of what Charlie and I talked about earlier. I don't like the reset date because I use that as a finding tool if something is misplaced or labeled wrong. But what did he say? Losing? Oh,
I don't recall
that can happen. So what you need to do is once you end them, especially if you're ending like a big chunk of them, let's say 100 cards at a time, you need to give them some time to pop back in to your relisting menu.
They take a little bit.
My suggestion would be do it, end the listings, and then like give it a minute, hit a refresh, and you should see everything there. If you don't, you may even want to go back and actually check that it actually end the listing.
Yeah.
It might just still be active.
Dan. Gotta wait it out.
Patience matters when you're doing bulk stuff on eBay. It does take time.
Lions Cards says, I feel like I've had more luck with old beat to crap vintage cards than very good to excellent vintage cards on the topic of condition. It's funny. Yeah, Adam talks about this a lot, like how the beat up cards often come with a perceived story, right?
Yeah, a lot of people just like the history of cards. You know, we can't assume everybody wants a mint copy of something. Like that's not the motivation for everybody. Some people want to see something like, man, this card's lived a life. There's a lot of PSA 1 collectors out there, but they might just be looking for a halfway decent specimen that they can grade, that they can get a 1 on, and have it be really cheap. There's buyers who buy specifically miscut cards and things like that. So yeah, just because it's not perfect, don't toss it. It might actually sell faster because it isn't perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. You always tell that story about that card where someone drew a face on it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought a lot of like 50s baseball a long time ago. And it was super cheap because the cards were like totally destroyed. And I'm like, I love that. I think they're great. So they all have like writing on it, or like you can barely see the picture on the front. It almost feels like fabric because it's been so folded over and wrinkled up and went through the washer. Yeah. And those cards sell. A lot of times I'll sell those cards before I sell the nice condition stuff.
Yeah. Johnny M's with us tonight. He says, good evening, fellas. Thank you for all your support in my lives, Charlie. I really appreciate it. Absolutely, Johnny. I always like to pop out there in a few lives when people give it a go. Part of it is just supporting the folks in the Discord. And part of it is seeing how other people do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
love to see all the different takes on it. Got some good cards from you. I got one of the packages in the mail this week. I think I got 2 more orders coming from you yet. Didn't check the mailbox yet today. Maybe there's some out there.
Yeah, I agree. The support is important. I don't always follow the Discord as closely as I should, so I miss a lot of this type of stuff where I would love to go in and show support. So, um, you know, my word to you, Johnny, is I'm going to do my best to get into one at some point. If you're running one on Black Friday, this goes for anybody in the Discord. If you're running a show on Black Friday, please post it in the appropriate channel on the Discord, saying, "Hey, doing a live show. If anybody wants to jump in, great." Because if we can all boost our own numbers, that's a powerful tool. We're
sure.
kind of like raiding each other without raiding each other. You know, it's an off-platform organized raid.
Yeah, I was just looking for the channel. We have the live selling. There it is. Hashtag live selling. We have a channel dedicated strictly to live selling out there, for everybody to ask questions, share their own experiences, advertise for their upcoming shows. Let us know how they went. I always like seeing how everybody's doing out there. We've watched people grow from their very first show into a pretty successful operation. So it's always fun to see.
Make sure you have givvies.
Yes, got to have some givvies.
And if you do, I'm going to get takeys. I'm going to takeys your givvies.
I've got one givvy coming from Johnny M.
Johnny, does Johnny call them givvies?
I believe he does. Yeah. What do you expect him to write out? I am going to give you this card for free and put it on the stand. That's way too much to write.
I mean, if you respect your 14 years of English you took, yes, that is what you should be doing. Not givvies. It's not even a word.
Givvy.
Yeah,
you know what would really be good? If you had some givvies of Livy.
Ooh. Yeah. Now I like Givvy a little bit more.
See, if they were Livy Dunn cards, you'd be like, yeah, I'm up for a Givvy.
Livy Givvies.
All right, moving on. Lions cards, I'm holding you to that 15-hour stream.
Oh gosh, how boring would that be? I mean, you're gonna have to see us do some pretty weird stuff if you're sticking around for 15 hours, just so you know. And I can't go 15. Sure. I'm old. I can't go 15 hours without a pee and a poop. So you're gonna have to take your stops for that too. Coffee reloads. I mean, it could get rough.
I think Susie wants to hear you try out your Australian accent some more.
Okay, what is it? Time to put a shrimp on the bobby.
You sound just like Paul Hogan.
Good day, mate. Watch me shove my thumb right up this croc's ass.
Oh my goodness.
I've been practicing.
You are getting tired.
Yeah. Oh, I'm past that. So I'm tired, but I keep givey.
Yes. Susie says 3:30 a.m. No way. Yeah, she's got a little bit of a time change on us.
She does. She's a day ahead. She's in the future.
Yeah, she's from the future. Lions card says, to be fair, Adam, I've had to go through about 15 different Jeff Wilson dollar box videos before finding this channel.
You know, it's funny because it's true. Because when I started doing, shows about low end cards, like nobody cares about that stuff, right? It's not sexy, cool.
Yeah.
When the market was hot, and then it was like Jeff, the market was losing some steam, and our faction was kind of coming in and adding another angle to the hobby, especially at a time when people were crunching a little bit more on the money. But yeah, then you start seeing like, oh, this is my dollar box video, from all these, you know, higher traffic, let's say,
Right.
YouTube channels. I'm like, really? I mean, stay in your lane. Talk about you know,
Yeah. They follow up
your
that $10,000 trade with, I gave one of my buyers $100 to see what they can bring home from the dollar boxes.
yeah, and and the $1,000 transaction was on some quarterback who never played a game in the NFL,
Right. Right.
type of stuff versus ours is like meat and potatoes and actually cool cards and more hobby focused than quick flip type stuff. But yeah, it's okay.
Yep.
I guess I look at it like if he brought attention to the dollar card market and then you found my channel, I should thank Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. There you go. I have a friend in Atlanta right now, and I sent him a message tonight. I said, there's 2 stops I need you to make while you're there. And one of them was Cards HQ. So figured while he's there, he needs to check it out. He's a big Daryl Strawberry fan. I said, I bet you can find
Oh,
a 6 straw card, bruh.
sick. A 6 straw givey. That would be the peak of humanity right there in a live
There you
selling
go.
show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dan's got your website ready to go. He said Only Nails site hosted by GoDaddy.
Nice. Only nails. Like an only fan site, but it's only nails. I get it.
We're definitely in the nonsense portion of the show.
Yeah, so like all 1 hour and 47 minutes of it, really.
Keith says, thanks. I'll have a display case in the middle, 2 4-row quarter boxes, a 4-row dollar box, and a couple 2 rows with price as marked. Obviously, I'll discount bigger orders. Got to go for that stack attack, right? All cards will be priced. Perfect. Sounds like a good table. I'd stop
Yeah, that's right on. That would definitely be a stop for me. Especially if you have things priced appropriately and yeah, you got it marked and you meet my requirements, I would be happy to try to do a bundle deal with your table for sure. So
Yep.
good job. Well done.
Lions Card says, I was interested about that whole trade anything day. I've got plenty of 90s Kevin Apier base cards to toss them.
Nice.
You probably sell those all the time, Adam.
Sure. I sell everything.
You do. You literally sell. You're like Got Print. You literally sell everything almost.
There's always someone to market to. Here's the real skill set in eBay or selling online period is getting your stuff in front of the right customer. And that sounds easy, but it's not. So you have to use the right combinations of promotions. You have to be willing to spend a little bit of money to get your buyer. You have to be willing to make a sale, not necessarily full margin, and offer discounts for quantity. I mean, all these things that we talk about, right, regularly. But you really have to practice them all, or you're going to get stuck with a stack of Kevin Apier cards.
Yep.
No disrespect to Kevin Apier, he's a pretty darn good player. Ooh.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got for that one.
That's the exclamation point on that.
Pretty much.
Longball says, thanks. I wish we could have gave you more, but like I said, that's a really long process and setting up those U-picks, and we just wouldn't be able to cover it all here. We'd probably have to do a whole episode on it.
There's a lot of sellers that like live and die by those things. So,
True.
If you can do it, again, just what I just said, if you can market it correctly, if you can find the buyers that are interested in scrolling down, pull down menus, that's what you need to do. You need to try to build that customer base, and then that's your niche.
There you go. Lions Card says, I feel like you'd get a much different audience at first with the check out our cards URL. Yeah, I think that might be the definition of clickbait.
Yeah, I would agree. check out our cards. Yeah, it's a good point.
Lofi Joe says, Goat gains, offers, acquisitions, trades.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a start. That's a
Yeah,
start.
that's solid, Joe. Well done. Don't trademark that because I might use it.
Susie says she'd like to see a video of your show prep for the Whatnot Black Friday show.
Yeah, I'll try to do that, I guess.
That's not what Yoda
Basically,
says.
basically it yeah, basically it starts by I put on some pants. Um and then and then
I don't even know if that's true.
well,
Sometimes you just go in shorts or PJs.
you're gonna have to believe me. Yeah, honestly the biggest prep for the way I want to do it is to go through what I have listed on Whatnot and build some kind of theme out of that, move those cards to a show. By the way, you have to create the show first. You can't take the cards and then move them to a show. So look up the cards that you want to make a show on, create the show, then move those cards to that show. And then I'll pull the cards right away out of the drawer. Well, maybe I wouldn't even. Yeah, you have to pull them because you got to show them on camera.
You gotta
So
show them. Yeah.
I'd go pull all the cards. I'd have them organized as well as I could. So I don't do like huge quantity shows with like 4,000 cards over 10 hours or something like that. It would be a few hundred cards. So I really like the one row long box without the top. And I just line all the cards in there. So then I grab one, I put it on camera, I toss it aside. I'll worry about later which ones sold, which ones didn't sell. Is there multiple buys, that kind of thing. Because once the show ends, and then I go to do the shipping and the packaging and all that, then I will go back through the ones that were in the box and sort them that way. And then make sure you scan the package or you'll never get paid for it.
Yeah, that's been a recent change that they've had even for shipping, right? Like you got to
Yeah.
scan it with the app. I think it's good though.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I'm right here. I have my phone. I've got the package. So
Yeah.
the only thing is I'm not totally used to it yet. So I pack it and I toss it in my bin and then I go, oh crap, I got to grab that back out and I'll
Grab
take
it
a
back,
picture of it.
Yeah.
Because I would just go in and hit, confirm shipped on Whatnot.
Right.
And then I left it at that. But yeah, now you hit that and you got to scan and it has to verify it's that customer's name and like whatever.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we're just trying to protect the buyer side
Yeah.
a bit.
In the end, though, what is it really proving? It's just proved that you printed a label and put it on some package.
Correct. It does send an image. It does send an image of that to the buyer. So maybe just to give them some peace of mind. I don't know.
That's what it's all about. It's just peace of mind.
Yep.
It's like in Tommy Boy when they talk about a guarantee, just makes you feel all warm and cuddly inside.
Put a guarantee in a box and slap a label on it, but I'd rather get a look at a T-bone.
Wait, it's got to be your bull.
Putting my head up the bull's ass. Oh no, I'd rather. What is it? How's it go? I'd rather get the advice on a T-bone from the butcher than stick my head up the bull's ass. Something to that effect.
Yes.
That was pretty good. I think I was close to nailing it. Yeah, do you validate? Two guys in the corner puking his guts out. Oh my god. Classic movie. If you guys are into like 90s movies, we got you because it's totally our thing.
For sure. Lions card says Jack Doherty is a piece of work. He has the brain cells of an empty cereal bowl.
Yeah, it was funny. One of the videos that I watched, and I think I'm sure people have dissected his stuff, but he supposedly had like a stack of $100 bills, but he accidentally like flipped them over to the backside and they're blank. I'm like, dude, you could have at least copied the other side, in case that. So I saw that in the video. It made me kind of laugh. And yeah, but see, somebody else knew about Jack Doherty. So there.
Now I'm going to have to check this out.
Yeah. You just need like one video and you can be like, yep, that's dumb.
That's enough for me.
That's enough for you. Yeah.
Dan says, don't forget to enter for the freebie.
Freebie and Givey. And that's
Are
how
you
you.
okay with freebie though?
Not really.
No, that still
No.
rubs you the wrong way.
It's a little bit better because I don't. Givey's like that's like a new invention just for. So watch a show where somebody says Givey and the way they say it, and that's what they'll. Don't forget to enter for the Givey. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hear that. It's the same as sick card, bro. Nobody wants to hear anybody say that way. But that's how it comes out, right? That's how it has to come out. So that's the part of it I hate more than anything. Like, oh, we've got some nice freebies tonight. That seems like like something you could pass a little bit easier versus if you say Givey, like you totally lost me. I don't know. Each his own.
All right. Garrison Frost is here and says Giveys are the best.
Well, first of all, you spelled it wrong. So there's that. We go back to that 14 years of English. Yeah, I like giveaways. I would agree with that. But Giveys, the word Givey is unacceptable.
They're not going away, Adam. You're going to have to get used to them.
They're not going to go away from some people's shows. They will not be on my show. So if you're looking for someone to say, don't forget to enter the Giveys, don't come to my live shows because you're not going to get it.
Johnny says, damn, I'm 20 years older than Adam and I do Giveys.
I will do giveaways. I'm not doing Giveys.
Johnny scolded me the other day because he forgot to start his next Givey. He's like, Charlie, you're supposed to tell me that I got to restart this.
There's, when you're first doing it, there's a lot to manage during a live show.
I imagine so.
More than you'd think. There's a lot of like bigger whatnot channels now that have like multiple people that do it. So you see like 3 or 4 cameras and one guy's just in charge of doing the giveaways and one person's just in charge of like a certain angle of the view of the card. And like, yeah, it gets pretty out there now.
It is. Like, that's why I'm like, I just don't feel like it's a great idea to just go out there cold on your first one with no like run through or anything, because there's a lot going on.
I mean, I would suggest doing a show and then I'll get on there and I'll just keep typing Givey and Takey and Livy and and it'll just pump your audience. You can't lose.
Nice.
We'll have all the trigger words, the sick card. Let's go. That's the other one. Yeah. I need to hear that crap when someone pulls a card.
Susie's we're going back to the missing cards in our inventory. Yep, as soon as you cancel and refund, then you find the card 2 days later.
So that does happen to me, and I've actually messaged the customer back and I said, yeah, I'm sorry I had to cancel your order. I couldn't find it, but now I found the card. Do you still want it? You have to list it, let them buy it. Huh?
A lot of times they do still want it.
Yeah, I've had that. Oh, awesome, because I was, it's the one card I needed, whatever. And I'll just relist it, and then I just message them the link to the new listing so they can buy it again. And then ship it out.
Yep. Lions Card says, I'm realizing I forgot to greet you guys earlier. Yo.
Welcome. Yo. For sure.
There you go. Designated Heckler says, Dollar Box is having a Goat Busters sale. Can't wait.
Who are you going to call? Goat Busters.
He
That's
did
a great
some
idea.
Fantastic work this week. Look at that.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Goat Busters. Hold on to that logo. We got to be able to do something with that.
All right, I got it. Well, I mean, we're going to have to think about trademark stuff, I'm sure, but
true.
Can't do too crazy with it.
If you have a goat in a crossout symbol, that's not trademarked.
You wouldn't think so, because that's commonplace imagery, right?
It's just a circle with a strike. That's not a thing. So
now, if I put the Ecto 1 next to it, then we're in trouble.
That would be a little bit tougher, yes. If the Ghostbusters people actually cared, yes, they could tell you need to take it down wherever it is.
Yes. Lions Card says, here's an interesting topic. How do you deal with error cards? I was recently going through a stack of NBA, found a Bradley Beal card, but the back is Karl Malone.
Hmm?
I'm Karl Malone. I might have to show in Discord.
I have run into that. It's just kind of the same thing with miscut cards and things we were referring to earlier. And sure, I would list that, and I would list it saying, error Malone on back or something like that. You'll find a buyer.
Yeah, there's people that just look for that kind of stuff.
Heck yeah, that's weird. Weird stuff rules. So
Yep. For sure.
And what's interesting about that is like the error on the back is Karl Malone. That's a pretty decent name to be
Yes.
the error on the back. I mean, he is a Hall of Famer and the mailman and all that good business. So you probably have a buyer for that card.
What we don't get too excited about on error cards is like the Leaf trademark isn't there,
Right,
or a period's not there.
Yep.
There are buyers that look to complete sets with that, but it's certainly not as fun and as exciting.
No, definitely not.
Dr. Mantis Teboggin is here and says, "Give me that."
I even like that more. Give me that would still be better than givies or takeys.
There you go.
So
Yep.
I think my problem with taking words and just adding a Y to the end of the thing is that's basically what toddlers do, right? Keepy uppy, right? And picky uppy, picky me uppy, things like that. They take like a normal ass English word and they add a Y to the end for whatever reason. I don't think we should be doing that as adults.
You have very strong feelings about this. Like you've put thought into this.
When I have passion, I have passion. It's tough to take that out of me.
So Lions card says, so if I take you a givey, am I obligated to sendy?
Sendy is that's insane. Don't forget to enter the givey.
Or if you takey, my fault, double negative.
Takey.
Susie,
I can't even.
So now we got Susie thinking about you not wearing pants.
I mean, you don't really know, do you? You just all you see is the head. And that's all you're gonna get. So you have to guess the pants or guess the no pants. I guess that's up to you.
Well, this is a good theme for a show. Lots of asses and givvies today.
Givvies. Come on, you guys. There's got to be somebody else out there that's like, somebody else has to be like, givvy is the dumbest thing I ever heard. No, because it is.
I don't think they're out there. I think it's just you.
Feel so alone.
Dan says 90s movies are the best. True. A lot of people go to college for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Stole my line, but I love it. I love it. You have a thick candy shell. Your head has a thick candy shell.
Yeah. That doesn't smell like mud, Chucko. Designated Heckler says, "Goat, givvies or Adam throw-ins?"
Ooh, that's another good acronym. Nice job. Nice job. Early option on two. Cow. Can't believe you've never been cow tipping before.
Dr. Mantis Teboggin's throwing in that gimme dats again.
That it's the Y at the end. That's the givey, takey. No, I'm not talking to a 2-year-old. That's the part that's not okay.
Susie says, "Please wear pants," and I think that is the period on our show tonight. Yep. We are caught up in the chat.
So remember, you can't sell what you don't list, and please wear pants.
Please wear pants. Yeah, that's gonna be. Is that gonna be our new logo?
Yes. Okay. Here. Yeah, I got something to show you real quick. Hold on. It has nothing. Well, it does have something to do with pants, but not particularly the pants I'm wearing.
All right.
This is a sign that hangs in my office. It's gonna be backwards, like
In pants. Yes. I think I've
right.
seen that in your office.
I mean, it's true. Pants aren't really necessary, not at home, especially.
Yeah, we did, what did we all do tonight? Wow, I got off track there so much with the nonsense hour there. We talked Black Friday sales impacts. We talked Whatnot impacts for their zero commission fees. What else did we talk about tonight?
Well, and I kind of just brought up my concept for easy ways to list on Whatnot. I don't know if a lot of people have thought about that, but if you have the static inventory, it makes it really easy to send it to a show. So it should be make it easier for those kind of hesitant to like, oh, I got to set up a show and do all that. Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
that was the big one. We tried to find deals on card stuff for Black Friday. We don't really see much yet, so we'll keep our eyes peeled for that. Yeah, and Whatnot's becoming a bigger part of our show, that's for sure.
it is. It's becoming a
So,
bigger part of the hobby, and I think it's natural. We're following suit with that.
yeah. Yeah, it's I was kind of holding out because I was like, oh, I want to do eBay Live because I already got all my stuff there. Now it doesn't matter because I have all my stuff on Whatnot, so I'll just do it on Whatnot, and Whatnot doesn't limit my listings either,
Right.
and the percentage is cheaper. So, and it, what eBay is gonna automatically be some competition because of who they already are, but they're not. No one thinks of eBay as a live seller.
Not yet. No.
Well, and maybe never will. Versus Whatnot, that is their thing. So if you want to do live selling, I think Whatnot is, in my opinion, that's still the best place to go and get that experience. Before we could move our inventory over, I would have said no because it's a big process and you don't have static items in a store to sell, so it's hard to get cross sales from your auctions and things like that. But all that's gone now. Now all you got to do is download your eBay and send it to Whatnot, and you're good to go.
Yep.
And you don't even have to wear pants.
Perfect. And on that note, thanks everybody for hanging out. Get ready to go out and crush those Black Friday sales. Survive the Whatnot circus. And remember, nonsense is free with every stream. So we'll see you next show.
Take care, everybody.